Sister Mabel,
Yes.
yeah, are you starting?
Yeah, starting now, starting.
Okay.
So, that's very true. Hold on. Okay, good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to our Abort Master, Brother Joe Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brother sister around the world. Welcome to this Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. So let's start the session today. Today, I'm here, Sister Mabel, because Sister Lily is not around. I'll be doing the opening today. Okay, so let's start. So I will be sharing a short acceptance speech from Master. So the title is Continuing to Wow Lifetime After Lifetime. So seeing the beauty display on site, the sincerity of every Suchi Bodhisattva, always with a heart of offering, make the Master very pleased and at ease. Mobilizing many people in just a few seconds, the heart of gratitude is truly indescribable. No words can fully express it, only by continuing to wow lifetime after lifetime. Okay, so Kan'en Master for teaching. So let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 direction. May the Sahaland be free from disaster and peace be well in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piety. Let's put our palms together. Okay, so may all minds be purified, may there be peace in the community, and may there be no disaster in the world. Okay, so let us say the prayer for universal love and blessing. So together we pray with loving respect, gratitude, and confidence. Let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body and enlightened mind and total fulfillment in universal love. Let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe, and let us unify love, make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Okay? So before we hear the wonderful sharing this morning, let us invite our Dharma Master to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gems. So let us pay our respect for this teaching and explanation to Buddha and Master Chen Yen by making three sincere bows. Okay. Okay. So let's rise. Put your palms together. Okay. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. And also a bow to our beloved Abode Master who joined us today. Okay, so on our agenda today, we have Brother Joe Huang who will be sharing on Dharma insight, and Sister Su Ching will be sharing on a life with books, and we also have Brother David Liu on question and answer. Okay, so let's invite Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Sister Su Ching? Sister Su Ching? Su Ching. Su Ching đó.
I think Sister Su Ching is not in yet.
Hmm.
Never mind. I think Brother Joe is online already. Perhaps we can start with Brother Joe.
Okay, then over to you, Sister Kaping.
Okay, thank you. Brother Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning,
morning.
everybody.
Yeah, we are very grateful for you to join us again this morning. All of us are looking forward to your insightful sharing, brother. So over to you.
Thank you, Sister Carpen, and good morning, everybody. And welcome to our weekly Sutra review or sharing session. I think it's always a very good feeling that you wake up in the morning and we immerse ourselves in all this Dharma joy. And what is Dharma joy? And this is something that I've shared in the past couple of weeks about after the typhoon. And I think one thing that I mentioned was taking refuge. The idea of taking refuge is that whenever that we're encountered with something that we probably couldn't handle or we didn't think that we can handle, we have something that we can fall back on. We have something that we can rely on. We have something that we can lean on. That's refuge. And so when we take refuge under Dharma Master Chen Yen, or when we take refuge under Buddhist teachings, as a Buddhist, that's what we're leaning on. We're leaning on these teachings in our times of trouble, in our times of difficulty. And I think that's one aspect of the teaching, which is your perfect state, your perfect lifeline, your perfect safe backdrop where it helps you and it provides you with safety and security whenever you need it. However, that's only one part of what the Dharma offers you, because it's almost like if it's a safety net, then you're hoping you never get to use it, right? It's like if you're walking a tightrope, you're trying to balance on that very tight rope. You're hoping that you never get to use that safety net down there, right? You should never fall. That's what you're hoping for, right? So one part of the Dharma, a part of Dharma is to help you and provide you with that safety net, that refuge where when there is storm, you get to stay in the port. But the purpose of the ship isn't to always stay in the port, right? So that's only one part of what the Dharma offers you, in that when you are encountered with problems and difficulties, you have something to fall back to, you have something to rely on and lean against, right? So that's only one part. I mean, that's not even the most important part, but it is a very important, it's a vital part, because a lot of us seek out religion when you're in trouble, right? So that's just the nature of humanity. Usually when we're doing fine, we tend to look less to divinity, or we tend to look less to things that, that tend to be religious. And so that's understandable, okay? So, but what about the other part? Other than the thing that you rely on when you're in trouble, what about when you're doing well? What about when you're doing perfectly fine? Sailing, smooth sailing, obviously you're not going to be looking at which port you're going to be docked at. You're going to be thinking about, well, can I go faster? Can I go further? Can I take more goods? Can I haul more goods while I'm at it, right? So those are the things that you're thinking. And where is the Dharma then? Where does it provide? So today we're going to get into the Sutra of Infinite Meanings again. And we're going to pick up where we left off last week. This is a continuous journey. I mean, it's continuing to trying to make the idea that the sutra itself is telling us a lot more than just the text, the sutra text. And a lot of times we will be reciting these texts, but we sort of get confined into what the words actually mean. And then we sort of forgot what it's trying to do for us. And I'm trying to break that, even though I'm also part of that. We're sort of, I don't want to say trapped, but we're sort of encased in this confine where, the words and the meanings, they have so much meaning and they have so much, telling us so many things. But maybe there's something more we can do to sort of get out of that case, get out of that box, get out of that thinking, and then sort of try to expand it. Okay, so this week, what we're going to be talking about is, we're still on chapter 1, and it's broken down into, now we're into this part where it's one of the most important segments in this chapter, or even in this whole text. And if you will remember, that master particularly like these segments, and so we break it down into 5 parts to talk about what they really are. So we've already talked about number 1. So today we already talked about number 1, but I'm just going to go through them quickly. And it's talking about precept, samadhi, and wisdom. And I think that this is 5-step process, or even this is more like a 3-step process. The first 3 that you see here, they are the causes. If you do these 3, then you should be able to get 4 and 5. And number 1, 2, 3 are the things that you have to work hard to try to get to. And 4 and 5 are the results that you would see if you work hard to get 1, 2, 3. So that's what these parts are, right? This is a guidebook. Always remember, Dharma or the Sutra itself is a guidebook, is an instruction manual to tell you what you should do. But what good is the instruction manual if it doesn't tell you what the result is? It should tell you you should do A, B, C in order to get X, Y, Z. And therefore, in this particular part, it tells you that if you do 1, 2, 3 here, as it shows here, then you are able to get 4 and 5. And these are all interlinked together. So that, I think that's sort of how I see it. And if you always look at Sutra itself, not just as something that's spiritually elevating you, but if you look at the Sutra itself as an instruction manual, and it tells you that you need to do A, B, C in order to get to X, Y, Z, then you will be able to understand how to read it. And does this fall into A, B, C, the action part, or does it fall into the result part? And the whole sutra itself is there to tell you that if what you get isn't listed here as XYZ, then probably somewhere along the line of doing ABC, you're skewed. Somewhere along the line, you didn't follow instructions. And I remember this is the perfect example for if you have ever played Lego pieces, right? They have these instruction manuals, and they always have the final product at the box, on the box, or on the very first page. And then it shows you the steps along the way. It tells you which piece, and it tells you where you put it. Now, if after you follow all the steps, you didn't get the thing that's on the box, then something must have gone wrong, and you had to go check it yourself. And so that's the whole thing, right? It tells you the instructions for 4 and 5, the instruction to get to 4 and 5. And then the way that you follow is if you follow what's listed on the page here as 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's go into what the 1, 2, 3 are. So precepts and samadhi and wisdom. If we go through them very quickly, precepts allow you to trim, to cut off all the negative things, the negative karma, the bad things that we could possibly have committed. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that sometimes we're doing things knowingly. Like, I know I am taking this thing without the owner's agreement. That means I'm stealing it. Sometimes you know it. Knowingly doing something that's wrong. Knowingly doing something that's bad. For most of the people, our moral compass allows us to not do this most of the time. Most of the time, for most of the people. And there are going to be cases when people are going to do certain bad things knowingly, purposely, and intentionally. But let's rule that out for now. For most majority of the people that are going to try to abide by the rules, they're trying to be a good person, most of the people, for most of the time. However, that doesn't mean that they are not going to commit something wrong. So how do you help these people where most of the time, most of the people and most of the time are trying to do good, but they're still committing something that's wrongful without them knowing? And if they knew, they wouldn't be doing it. What do? Precepts. Precepts allow us to cut off and trim off any possible potential wrongdoings without you knowing. If you stop them at the cause, if you stop them at the beginning, at the source, then it wouldn't even develop or grow into something that's wrong. Therefore, precepts stop you at the source without being, without you knowing you wouldn't be doing something wrong. Okay, so let me go back to the premise again. Most of the people, most of the time, will try to do something that's right. So for these people that are trying to do good most of the time, we also try to help them to avoid doing something bad without them knowing, right? If they knew that doing something like this would cause all the problems later, they probably wouldn't do it. But they didn't know, so they did it. What precept does is it stops and breaks a chain at the source, so that you don't even commit something unknowingly. That's what the precept does. So when we say that precepts allow us to protect us, that's what it's protecting. From you, protecting you from doing something unknowingly that is bad. Okay? Unknowingly. Like, for example, I was a meat eater. I was not a vegetarian before I was 23 years old. So before I was 23, I was taking lives as my food without knowing that is wrong. Now, would you say that all the time that I knew that I didn't know that it was wrong? Well, sort of no, right? It's sort of like blurry. You maybe know, you might not know. You see other people being vegetarian, you didn't know why. You think that it's probably religious. You think it's probably because it's lunar month, the 1st and the 15th. That's why they're vegetarian. That's why my dad was on the 1st and the 15th, and also at times of to commemorate my grandparents' passing on the day, they would also be vegetarian, right? So I didn't realize what that meant, and I thought that was just a choice, right? Like you wear a plain color clothes, on a particular day, like you wear black to the funeral. Those are your choice, right? But it doesn't mean that if you don't do it, it's wrong. It just means that that's your choice. But ever since I got into Tzu Chi, and I got more friends around me to become vegetarian, then I began to realize that maybe it's not just a choice. You're unknowingly doing something wrong, and you didn't realize that. So now you try to stop that. Now you know it's wrong, and then you actively try to change that. But precepts stops you from doing things that you didn't know that was wrong, but you stop it right away. Okay, you don't even try to get into the blurry line. You just stop it right away. Okay, so that's what the precept does for you. Okay, so we quickly go through the precepts, and I wanted to before we get into the still minds and peaceful and no delusion, I wanted to add on to what I was talking about before. I mentioned that taking refuge, right? The idea of taking refuge is like it's a safety net. It's a safety harbor where during the times of storm, your ship can dock and then it will shield you. It will protect you from the storm. It's like a safety net where if you're walking a tightrope and if you fall down, there's a safety net to help you, protect you, so that you don't just fall down and crash yourself, right? So that's what the safety net does and taking refuge does. But it doesn't help you when you're actually out on the sea, right? How does the dock help you when you're fully supplied and you're going under the sea? It doesn't really help you anything. Or how does the safety net help you when you're there, walking with your stick, balancing stick, and you're trying to walk the tightrope to make sure that you don't fall? Yeah, it serves you as a safety net. Like in the back of your mind, you know that you're safe. But at the same time, it doesn't help you balancing your stick, okay? Balancing your tightrope walking. Okay, so what other thing does it help you? Well, what the Dharma does is that when you're walking the tightrope, other than the safety net that it provides, it also blocks you out from all the disturbances, from all the other things that would distract you. It blocks you from all the distractions. And that's very important too. For example, out on the ocean, your goal is to get to that point, and maybe you do your fishing, you do your work. But along the way, there are many things that distract you from your goal. Along the way, while you're walking your tightrope, the wind might come, right? Something that would distract you. Maybe there's a bird that flies by. Maybe there's an airplane that flies by. All these things that comes around, and that's going to distract you. Well, what you're going to do is you need some way to block them off. Your goal is right ahead, but something are always coming around to try to get to you. How do you do this to block them away? That's what the Dharma helps you. So we already established, number one, that it's a safety net. But for the most time, you don't need a safety net until you fail. So we don't want to fail all the time. We want to be successful. How do you be successful? Well, you need to block off all the other distractions. And that's what this part comes in. Still minds, peaceful, and no delusions, right? So with meditative and still minds, they remain constantly in samadhi. Okay, so this part coming from the sutra itself. When you are able to be still, then you will be in samadhi. Because you're in samadhi, you're peaceful, you're content, you're uncontriving, and you're free from all desires. It's almost like you're walking a tight rope, and then somebody that hands, that sort of put a rope on the back of your shirt, and they're pulling you. So they're affecting your tightrope walking. In fact, it's very dangerous. They're disturbing you from your walk, and you're cutting that off so that you're no longer affected by them, right? It's like if you're on the motorbike, and your kids maybe sitting behind you or sitting in front of you, and they're sort of wiggling. They're wiggling around, or they're trying to, they're putting their hands on the steering wheel, and they're affecting your steering. Well, now their hands are off. They're not going to affect you anymore. And that's what it means. The Dharma also allows you to free you from these attachments. So that's another keyword that's coming in. We always hear this. We always hear Buddhism. It's about the elimination of attachments. What are these attachments, right? A lot of people say your worldly possession is your attachment. Your family members, right? Your husband, your wife, your kids, they're your attachments, right? So what are these attachments? Does that mean we don't want them? Actually, in my mind, and I believe this is also the view of Tzu Chi in general, because Master always says, you have to take care of your family first before you can take care of other people, right? So it's the same idea. What is attachment? Attachment is something that disturbs you, that disrupts you when you're walking toward your goal. So it really depends on what your goal is. And if your goal is to be a good father, then how is your family your entanglement? How is your family your attachment? It's not, right? So if your goal is to have a successful life, and family is part of the definition of successful life, then your family isn't something that's going to trip you. It's not something that's going to hold you back. So that's not going to be an attachment. An attachment is only something that disrupts you because you define your goal. Once you define your goal, then these things become something that will affect you. And so the way that you deal with these disruptions are also very different. In the eyes of Master Cheng Yen, elimination of the attachment doesn't mean getting rid of it. A lot of it, especially in terms of spiritual cultivation, a lot of it comes from accommodation. A lot of it comes from understanding. A lot of it comes from being grateful. What does that mean? If you think that you want to achieve your life goal as having a good work life, being successful in work, being successful at your work, being successful and being very good at what you do. So you might be thinking that family is a drag, right? You have to take care of your family. You have to take care of your kids. Maybe having kids is a drag. While one of the things that you can do is to say, well, that means not just have any kids, right? No family, no kids. Then I can fully charge ahead to meet my goal, my objective. But Master Cheng Yen tells us that that's not exactly all the time that we should do. You don't have to always, that's not the only way that you could do. There are other ways you could do. For example, finding the balance. For example, making sure that you fit that, you making sure that you take that as a priority, you set your family as a priority, and then you can boldly charge ahead on your goal to be successful at work. While that is not very easy to do, in fact, that's very difficult. But that's what Master teaches us. That's the true cultivation. So there are many things that we always be thinking about attachment. Oh, Buddhism teaches you to be free of attachment by eliminating them or by not thinking about them. Well, that's not how it goes, right? It shouldn't be how it goes. It's not always just be getting rid of something, but rather Master teaches us to be coexisting with them, right? Imagine Master always telling us to coexist with the virus, with the illness that's within us, trying to find a way to peacefully coexist or peacefully live. That's the different way to say, instead of cutting off the rope that is tying to my back, that is affecting my tightrope walking. Rather, I will work with whoever is holding onto the rope so that we can work together so that I can walk better on this tightrope. That's what it means. So this is a little bit deviation from what we're talking about in the sutra. But I wanted to make sure that everybody understands that the part about attachment is not just about cutting it off. Cutting it off isn't always the answer. It's probably the fastest solution, but it's not always the answer. The answer could be coexistence. The answer could be accommodating. I will accommodate this while I march forward for my objective. Okay, so that's something that we could always keep in mind, and that's where Master comes in to tell us spiritual cultivation doesn't mean cutting off your connection with the world. It doesn't mean that you go into the mountains and be a hermit and just be something reclusive and do all the cultivation yourself. It also means accommodating and finding the necessity in groups of people, in society, where you find that even though there's attachment, but you start to accommodate everybody and you start to cultivate within this environment. That's very different. Okay, so let's come back to the sutra itself. Okay, so Master talks about, it is important to understand that Bodhisattva's minds are tranquil and still, unaffected by our outside worldly conditions. And this is very important. This is very important. This is telling you that you want to get there. You want to get to samadhi. You want to get to tranquility and stillness. This is what you want to get to, right? And it's unaffected by the outside worldly condition. And what does that mean? It means all the strings that's attached to you have no pull. You did not cut off the strings. You make sure that you accommodate. You know that it's going to, one person is going to pull on the 1 minute, the other person is going to pull the other minute. So then you act accordingly. You adjust accordingly to the things around you. Therefore, your mind and your hearts are not affected. And that is also free from attachment. These strings have no pulls on you. These outside conditions have nothing on you. For example, if you're telling me a particular stock is going to go so good in the next few days, you got these insiders information. Would I like to invest? It has no pull on me because I'm at a point in my life where I'm satisfied financially in terms of how much I get and how much I spend. So it has no pull on me. Or if you tell me that there is the newest vape, the newest electric cigarette, or the newest cigarette brand out there, it has no pull on me. These things have nothing on me, right? And we have to make it so that even though the world around us is changing all the time and fluctuating, we're not affected by them. That's the Bodhisattva's mind. So how do we reach there, right? So Master says, be able to let go whatever they have done at any time without being attached to what they have done at all. After we take one step forward, we must allow. So what this is telling us is that we are sort of sometimes attached to what we have done in the past. So while we learn from the past, it's time to let it go. The only thing that we should keep, that we can keep from something in the past, is experience. Yes, the karma will come with you, but that's not something you can choose. But we can choose to keep what's in our mind, is the experience, is the knowledge that we learn from it, and then we move forward. Not the good, not the glory, not the bad, or all the negative things that come with it. No, but take it and move on. So the things that happened in the past will have no pull on us, other than the fact that we remember what we learned. So this is very difficult, because when people begin to sort of poke you at the things that you did in the past, that might not be the good things or wrongful doings. Like, yeah, Joe, you talked about being vegetarian. Yeah, even though that you become vegetarian when you're 23, and that's more than 20 years ago, but you were a meat eater for more than 20 years, right? That makes sense, but let it be. I've learned from my lessons, from all the things that happened in the past. Only the thing that follow me is the karma. But I will not let all the things in the past cloud my judgment, other than the fact that I will take it, all the lessons that I've learned, all the knowledge that I've learned, all the experience that I've gained, I will keep it with me. That's very difficult. But the Bodhisattvas are able to do this. Don't let these things trouble you, haunt you. Like Shariputra. Shariputra's story about giving his eyes, that was one of the key things. Because of that experience, it was so traumatizing that it affected Shariputra for years and years, lifetime after lifetime, not willing to take that one step further, to say willingly, to be willing to give of himself to the world, to the people. And I don't blame him. If I were him, I'll be scared too. So I don't blame him. But for a bodhisattva, they're able to let it go. And that is very, very difficult. Okay? So other than that, bodhisattvas in this world do not have desires of their own. They resolve only to save and transform sentient beings. So what that means is that they are not attached to worldly desires. The only desire they have is that they're willing. How can they help more people? More people need to be transformed. More people need to have their minds, need to have their thoughts sort of elevated, right? Cultivated. But what can you do? The only thing that's in their mind is, how can I do this? What else can I do? Right? So it's not about worldly fame. It's not about the fortune. It's not about status. Master doesn't care about if in the world there's going to be another award that's going to be presented to Master, right? Master doesn't really care about if there's going to be a company that's going to go IPO and you can get a lot of money from it, right? Master doesn't care about if if Master becomes the Nobel Prize laureate, right? She doesn't care about that. She cares about, well, can I help another person, or more individuals? If by becoming more famous, I'm able to do this, then I will. If by receiving this award, it allows me to do more things for the people, I will. Okay, so they have no desire for all these things, but all these things become the byproduct of them giving of themselves to try to save and transform sentient beings. So that's what slowly it's telling you. That's what they are doing. Therefore, they could have that samadhi of mind. They could have that peace of mind. That's telling you, right? At first, it tells you the results. They have no strings attached. They're not going to be affected by all these things. And then tells you how to do that, because they have no desire. They have no desire. And how do you make sure that you don't have desire, right? How do you do that? Well, the fact that this is what Master does, and this is something that we can learn from too, right? I remember we were reporting to Master about something that we wish to do. And then Master tells us, ask us this question. And then it sort of opens everything up. Master tells us, are the things that you're proposing to do help us in terms of transforming the sentient beings? Are the things that you're proposing to do help us to not just transform, but save, right? 众生无边誓愿度. Does it help us? And 烦恼无尽誓愿断, all the affliction, does it help us? So that's the measuring stick that Master uses. All the things that you're trying to do, does it help us? Right? Does it help us? 人心净化，社会祥和，天下无灾. Does it help us? The things that you want to do, does it help us to bring us to a more harmonious society? And if there is a slim, if even there is a slimmest part of you that says, maybe not exactly, then you know it doesn't exactly do the things that Master wants to do. Okay? So this all goes back to precept, samadhi, and wisdom, right? Trying to reach the state of tranquility and clear mind. We have to be free of attachment. And once again, by free of attachment, it doesn't mean that you cut off all the strings. It means that you begin to accommodate and you have the wisdom to live and adjust accordingly, okay? That's how the Bodhisattva was able to live among the people and to be not affected by them, okay? Free from wrongdoings, because you know there are things you shouldn't do, knowingly and unknowingly, okay? And then you're also free from attachments. Therefore, you will be able to reach the mind that's tranquil and clear, and you're able to make the right decisions. Okay, so that's my sharing for today. And I hope that this sort of sharing allows us to not just look at the sutra and not just to look at the words and think, oh yeah, sure, we know this, but more to look in deeper and try to figure out, well, what other things can the sutra help us, right? The Buddha's teaching help us. It's not just providing a safe haven, but it also helps us provide us a way to be free of attachment. It doesn't mean to cut them off. It means that we learn to live with it and we adjust ourselves accordingly. That's spiritual cultivation. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Joe. It's really great insights to now think of the Dharma as not just a safety net, but really how we inbuilt a moral compass within us to walk on a path that brings us more peace and joy. Thank you so much. Next, we have Sister Su Ching. But before that, can I request for everyone to switch on your video so that we can take a picture with Brother Joe and Sister Su Ching and all? Sister Mabel, can you help with that?
Okay, everybody ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn, Brother Joe. Have a good weekend.
Cảm ơn, Brother Joe.
Brother Joe. Good morning from Lake Toba.
Brother Robert leading us. Cảm ơn大家.
Yeah, cảm ơn. Yeah, next up we have Sister Su Ching. Sorry, Sister Su Ching, we started without your summary of last week.
It's okay, you can do it now.
Okay, proceed.
My fault, I came down
first, yeah, and then your sharing of a life with books.
Yes. Okay, so this was last week. We have a few speakers. First, Brother Joe spoke about the typhoon. Brother Joe had never faced such fierce nature's might. This year brought winds that roared both day and night. Trees were uprooted. Rain's speed was vicious. Buildings flooded if unprepared, quite pernicious. In forest, trees hold trees hold each other tight. In life, family, and friends keep us upright. When winds blow hard and life seems grim, Dharma friends support, keep us steady so we won't fall in. And then he spoke on Dharma Sharing. Last week, we spoke of greatness achieved, how vows were kept and goals believed. Precepts guard and help us stay true, preventing harm in all we do. Mindfulness ensures we don't cause pain. Unknowing acts can leave a stain. Stay aware and guard each day to avoid contributing to evil swing. Then we had Brother Chong from Sabah, who spoke about footprints from Pitas. In Pitas, Sabah's north, a village remote where 1,800 baby names since 2023 have been wrote. 3.5 hours from KK's urban sprawl, no proper roads yet. This village stands tall. 40,000 people in poverty's embrace. Being so remote makes it a challenging space. Infant mortality rates were once sky high. Mothers too distant, hospitals short in supply. Master urged Brother Chong, don't wait, save lives. A rented house became Hope's archive. Rumah Penyayang Tzu grew over the years, from a small house to a concrete one, thus erasing fears. 21 years mortality rate to 0 fell. Volunteers care, their dedication does tell. Children were born with the name Tzu, displays of food and care and safe delivery. This house plays a crucial role indeed for Pita's well-being, fulfilling every need. Now we have Brother Victor and Sister Janet, all the way from US, who spoke about the movie 313, A Tale to Unfold. Young Peter worked hard, his story is told. In the downturn, he lost his job and home. His family left and he wandered alone. Homeless and dirty, a restaurant's disdain. A waitress' kindness gave him a meal in the rain. Peter sought work to see his daughter once more, but missed the interview he was hoping for. He slept in the subway, haircut gave hope. Awoke to cruelty with alcohol they did soak. He died at 3:13. What a tragic sight. Mr. David Jaw's film shared homeless plight. City offers aid, gifts in hand, breakfast, respect, and a listening stand. Homeless, once like us, now in need, empathy and support, planting hope seed. A mayor posed as homeless, saw the dark, reduce lawlessness, and make a new mark. In Jakarta, too, semi-homeless strive. With gratitude, respect, we keep hope alive. Okay, kan en for listening. Stop share this one and I'll bring my other slide.
Thank you, Sister Su Ching. Yeah, you can go on now with your sharing today. We are all looking forward to that.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, I love books. If you come to my house, they're just filled with books. So I'm going to talk about this life with books. And growing up, every Saturday morning, my brother and I would go to the Penang State Library and then to the British Council, which is near my mom's bank. So we would go there in the morning, and by lunchtime, we would walk over to my mother's bank after being in 2 libraries. And it was really there that my love for books really got encouraged. I read a lot of types of books. When I eat, I even read, and always with the book in hand. I read novels of historical nature, especially I love really classical kind of books like Pride and Prejudice. I really love the author Jane Austen. But Mary was a book that was very interesting because it was written about a family in UK, but it was based on the British royal family, Henry II especially, and therefore when I went to where was this, Dover Castle, I was surprised that was the castle that Henry II built. So that castle meant a lot more to me because of the book Penang. I was looking through some of my older slides, and I think I had a sharing in 2020. So there were a few slides then, which are quite useful now. It was then that I started recycling in a big way because I had just joined Su Ching. And I found a lot of books that were thrown away every third Sunday. So I said, if I can bridge the demand for books with the supply, wouldn't that be great? And I bought a coffee in Starbucks and they misspelled my name, and it sounds like Su Ching, so I thought it was meant to be. At the same time, a bookshop in Ampang was closing down, and the owner was giving away 800 books as his lease was up. So I had everything at that time because it was the pandemic, a truck and friends to help me move. And now I have a good base of books, and I thought that, okay, this is my time. I can catalog, post, and monitor. So that's my daughter and my friends all taking this 800 books. 800 books might not sound like a lot, but oh my goodness, it took quite a few rounds. At that time, we had a truck, so we filled the truck up with books, and I took it back and I sorted it. So I thought, okay, this is how I was going to do it. I was going to catalog the books, and then I put it into Facebook groups about secondhand books. But it didn't take off as I had planned. For every book I sold, I donated the proceeds to Su Ching, and it gave me an avenue to talk about Su Ching. And at that time, I had sold about 400 books, about 1,000. And I was really looking for a way to make this more sustainable. And whenever people bought the book and I used that money for donation, I would talk about Su Ching. And at that point, it really helped me surpass the number of donors. So this is how it goes. Every time they gave the money, I will give them I will talk about Su Ching, and I will lead them at least to the website and what Su Ching does. And later on, because I found that it wasn't sustainable, I wanted to do something online, and I didn't know how to get started. So that's when I contacted a friend of mine whose name is Edwin, and he's one of the founders of Signature Market. So when he found out that I had time in my hands, he asked me to join Signature Market, and therefore this whole plan of having an online bookshop was kind of shelved. But I still had a lot of books in my house, so what do? I found Books and Bobs. Actually, a friend of mine was the one who recommended it to me. So I sold my books to Books and Bobs. It was a really win-win arrangement for me. I had the only condition is that I have to have at least 500 books. Then they will come and bring their van, and then I can get my books into their van. So my arrangement with them is I sold every book for just RM1, and she can sell for whatever price she wants. So this time when she came to take the books, it was 1,000 books. So she took 1,000 books, gave me $1,000 in donation, and that's when I directed it to Su Ching. I have been doing this on and off whenever people tell me there are books to collect. So the total amounts that I have raised from selling books have been over 13,000. Really not bad, yeah. But post-pandemic, things change. Post-pandemic, a lot of businesses in the e-commerce space is quite affected. So when things change, one of the main things is Books and Bobs does not accept my books anymore because they say that warehouse is also full. People are not reading as much as they used to during the pandemic. So my simple mind says that I've got all these books and they look kind of good. Maybe I should send it over to the Su Ching school. So I found myself in Harmony, and I went upstairs and I was just asking the teacher if I could look at their library and see whether they need more books and how I can fit my books into their library. So I met this boy and he was showing me around, but he struck me because he was very attentive. His eyes were brightly lit, and he was telling me about how he loves books. And the teachers also told me that his story is that his parents have already moved to Bangi, but he takes a 2-hour ride from Bangi to Selayang every day. And he has no helmet on. And that's because he loves the school in Harmony so much. but he was reading a very simple book in the library. They had an English class at that time. So when I asked him, why do you read such a simple book? And he says, because he cannot finish the book otherwise. And why can't he finish the book? Because they are not allowed to borrow books back home. And why is that? I asked the teacher. Isn't the library a place where you can take books back and read? So the teacher told me that it was very difficult to do that because they're doing it all manually. And at any one point in time, they're afraid that their books are lost. So I thought, okay, if I can help get this into a digital format, that would be great. So the quest was on to look for a library system. But before that, I thought, okay, if he needs a helmet, maybe I can leverage on social media. I just measured his head and I just posted a caption in one of the KL expat groups. And there was a guy, of course, without his face. I was just mentioning that I need this helmet for a little boy with a head circumference of what size? And that someone actually donated a helmet and it fits him perfectly. So he was really very happy and I was very happy for this experience. So finally we got, it was around 3,000 books that they had and some of the other new books that I brought. And we met up with the school librarians and we taught them how to use a system called Liberica. You will see over here, there is a lady, her name is Susanna, and this guy, his name is Lai. So those are my friends. When I told them about this project, they jumped on the chance to help. It was Lai who introduced me to Liberica. He is actually he was the head of IT in one of the listed companies. And he was the one who told me that he was actually looking at a few library systems and Liberica seems to be it because it's simple and fairly easy to use. Nevertheless, it took us about 2 months to get all 3,000 books titles into the library system because we would go on and off and not the full day. But in between, he got a barcode scanner. So we kind of learned along the way. It was our first time and we were not very sure what to do, but we really had a lot of experience from there. And when I met the librarians, here I was impressing upon them the importance of reading books, pointed to my head because I was just telling them that once you have information and knowledge in your head, nobody can take it out from you. So this is Lai, Susanna, and me, and this is when we were closing and handing over to the students. On this day itself, we were handing over. Handing over means we will no longer come because we were taught them how to input the books into the system and how to check in, check out. I was a little bit concerned because we only met the student one time and we only did training one time. And I kept checking in with teacher Lena, whether we are needed there, do the students still need us? And she said, no, the system is so easy to use that teacher Lena says they don't need us at all. So this is Liberica, and you can see over here in just a glance. Later on, I also brought the system to Ghulam Hussein, how many titles there are and how many members there are. And at any point in time, you can see how many books are checked out from the system. And whenever a new book comes in, it can even be, the members can also be notified. And also the 2,000 actually is entries, not so much titles. But if you have less than 2,000 entries, then it is free. But anything above 2,000 entries, then you have to pay a very small minimal amount as the right to use for a year. So it's only about less than $200 a year. So in 2000, that was in 2023, and in 2024, I embarked on another 2+1 more projects. The +1 is just a new one, which I will be going to tomorrow. So every library is different, I realize. Harmony is different because it already has quite a lot of books. So the main work was to determine the categories, to sort out the books, put it on the shelves, and then after that, put it into the library system. So that was the main chunk of the work. In Ghulam Hussein, that I was the school that I was introduced to by Brother Benjamin, they are different because they had very few books. So if you see this shelf over here on the right, that is all the library books they had. I was also very, very lucky that I was introduced to Putri Pandan too, which is a Kebangsaan school. And when I went in, I was a little bit surprised because I always imagined that actually that's not true. I don't imagine because I've only seen my Kebangsaan school, and when I was in school, our libraries were actually quite well stocked up with books. So when I went to Putri Pandan too, I was surprised that there were so few books, and the books are very old. And the quality of the books were not very good. So there was, this is Puan Hasma. She is the principal of Putri Pandan. And this is Encik Hafiz, who was put in charge of the library system. This is my friend Khatijah, and she was the one who first knew of the school's need for new books. So she raised her own funds to get the books in, but then they became overwhelmed with the books, and the books were all scattered all over the place. So what we did was, again, categorizing, sorting, and then putting them on the shelves, and then putting it in the system. But what I realized is most of the time, apart from this very hard work, they do need a bit of hardware as well. So getting a barcode scanner is important because the ISDN code, it will be a lot easier if you were to just zap it. And then all the schools need at least a laptop in order to be able to run the system. Just one laptop, one barcode scanner, and subscription to Librarica for a year if they have more than 2,000 books. Ghulam Hussein is a little bit more challenging. This was the corner that they wanted to have their library, but they had nothing else, just a corner. But a good space is a good place to start. So I met the teachers, and the good news is that I work with several companies, and I got them to sponsor all that is required, books, shelves, or whatever else that they need. And the first thing I did was to get secondhand laptops and barcode scanners. So on this day on the right-hand side was when I delivered the laptop, saw the space and realized that they also need shelves. And the good news is we all have friends and friends of friends. I found one friend who does shelves, and the shelves are metal, so it will last. And we got them this shelves. And initially when the shelves came, they were all on the wall, which wasn't very conducive. So one of the teachers suggested that we put it this way so that we can use both sides. And that was such a good idea. So here we are. This is when we started inputting the titles into the system with the teachers. And a lot of times when the teachers are involved, the project goes and it is as planned, but everything seems to accelerate a lot more when I get the students involved. And this one gives me a lot of happiness because like in Ghulam Hussein, I was only there for about 2 hours to impart the utilization of the system to the students. And the next week when I came back and I tested them, they were already on the ball and knew what to do already. So that was really, really nice to see. Also during that time, Garden International School contributed over 1,000 books. They were mainly novels. And you know, when I put the 2 stars, mainly novels, last night, because I was reminded there were a bunch of Japanese students that came over to Jingse Hall about a week plus ago. And I was walking alongside them and listening to Sister Ching Yen talk to them. And when she asked the question, she said, if people are hungry, what do you give them? And of course, the answer is food. So it's a simple question, but it actually means you give people what they need, not what you think that you want them to have. So although Garden International School, they contributed over 1,000 books. They contributed because the library books were a bit yellow and they wanted to purge the older books. So we benefited from it, but they were very novelly, very the English and all that was a little bit hard for the primary school of Ghulam Hussein. So although that was first given to them, they couldn't take it, which was at that point in time, I was thinking, this is a gift, and yet you are not taking it. But then I realized that I wasn't giving them what they needed. Yeah, so it's good learning for me. I also got sponsorship for laptops and barcode scanner, and a year into the library system, books and shelves as well. So this is Garden International School. As you can see, first my friend, just in a glance, she said only 300 books, but it was so much more than that. My car was filled to the rim. So this is my friend Tiana and another friend of mine. I thought I needed muscles. So I asked a friend of mine who was younger, his name is Winlock. And when I reached Garden International School, we had to take all the books out from my car. This one happened for at least 4 rounds. So initially, the books were all put here in order to be able to sort. So what I told them was, you take what you need and what you want, and then I will take back the rest. Because when Garden International School gave the books to me, it was not sorted. So in just one glance, you cannot fish out the simpler books that they might want. And this is me in Pandan Putri, sorting out the books. So my friend and I spent 2 full days to do this, and it was really nice when the books were all on the shelf and ready to be input into the system. This whole experience also got me into Tzitzi's beautiful book garden. I have always had the desire to be there, but I've never had a reason to go. Yeah, so I think that's right. So tomorrow I'll be going over to Al Ikhlas refugee school, also in Batu Caves, and I hear that the books are really old again. So I went on a shopping spree with another friend of mine. Her name is Eileen, and we went over to pick up books for the Al Ikhlas school. So we bought over 300 books. And this is Brother G, and Sister Cindy really does such a wonderful job with the library. Really, really beautiful. When you go in, you can realize, or the impression that I got is that she really, really loves books. The books are kept in such a wonderful order, and the place it's just nice. You just love it as a library come bookshop. So with all the help that I've gotten over these years, I'm reminded of what the alchemist says. Well, when you really want something, the universe will conspire to help you accomplish it. I mentioned this last week, 2 weeks ago, and I really, really love this line. When you really want something, all the universe will conspire to help you achieve it. But the magic is in the action. You will not get anything sitting down and wishing for things to happen to you. You really got to do something, and then the magic comes. So moving forward, I just appeal for primary school books. If possible, please sort by genres. If you have any books to take out from your own personal library, just let me know, and then I will pick it up from you. Because Ghulam Hussein is still looking for primary school books. So any books of encyclopedia kind or simpler books for primary school kids, I'll definitely want. If you are so willing and want to spend time to input titles into a library system or want to learn how the system works, then do let me know again. Then whenever there is an opportunity, I will call on you. Also, if you have furnitures like bookshelves and all that can fit into a small corner. Again, let me know there is still another big space in Ghulam Hussein where we can still fill up with books, but having the shelves in first would be a great start. And as usual, laptops, that one I'm sure will go to Brother Benjamin, but if it is the odd one out and you would like to donate to a library, just let me know and I'll pick it up. And barcode scanners as well. Oh, and a last appeal, which I forgot to put in, if you know of any school that might benefit from having a library system, do reach out to me and I'll see what I can do in order to get the system in place for them. Before, just to wrap things up, I'd just like to talk about why is it that I do what I do. I saw this poster or message. It says use it or lose it. And although it's meant to talk about muscles, it is true for all muscles, including the brain. The brain is actually a big muscle. And if it is true for all muscles, including the brain, then this is why we read. When we read, we are actually exercising this muscle. But when we watch, we are just accepting whatever people have projected onto the screen or their interpretation of what is written to us. So we don't exercise it as much. So the brain is a muscle too, and the brain is a fantastic muscle because it's the only muscle that can really move the world. When I read, I can imagine the amount of information that is uploaded into the brain. And like I told the students, it is really getting information in and there is no way out already. Because once it is in your mind or your brain, it's permanently lodged. So although I started out saying that this is about a life with books, it is actually getting and being alive with books by the nature of the things that the books give to us. In my doing this slides, I came across this, and how does reading change the brain? It shows that certain parts of our brain are lighted up when we stimulate different parts of the brain. And these are scans of adults who have recently learned to read. And they look similar to those people who already learned as children. So the literate is here and the newly literate is here. So the different parts of the brain are lighted up. So what does this actually reveal? It reveals that literacy can change the brain at any age. So you're never too old to start reading again. And I say again because a lot of us have forgotten that books are there. When we read, there are certain things that happen in our minds when we read. Firstly, we make photos in our mind without being prompted. It is just a natural reflex. So therefore, when we read, we are really exercising our brain. We cannot help it. And the brain can adapt to new technologies in just 7 days. So whatever that we do, we just have to continuously do it. Learning new languages can grow your brain, I know. So that's what I'm doing right now. And when we read, the brain doesn't make a real distinction between reading and experiencing it. So reading about a place that you want to go also gets you mentally there. Of course, the last part, deep reading can make us more empathetic to people in real life. Yeah. So this is my greater vision for the world. I imagine a world of readers that people are fall in love with books again. I won't say it's sad, but there is a bit of truth in it. My son sees me and all the books in the house because usually I take back the books and I have to sort them because I realize if I don't sort them and just give the books as is, then some libraries may not find any use for it. But my son was saying that people don't read anymore. A lot of people are just watching movies and they are not interested in reading so much. And therefore, libraries will slowly lose their importance. And I think that's a great tragedy. So I I told him that so therefore he says, whatever you do, I know that you only want it to be good for the world, but it is kind of a waste of time. I thank him for his honesty, but I also realized that these schools actually asked me to come and help them with their libraries. So I don't think I'm forcing it on them. But more than that, it also gives me perspective that I shouldn't just build the library and then leave, that I should always go back and check in whether they are reading the books and reading it in a manner that serves them. Oh, my voice is gone. And that is it. I am just slightly short of 7:40, but Brother David is already here. So Kan En for listening, and thank you so much for spending time with me while I share.
Thank you so much, Sister Su Ching. This is truly a great example of somebody with, great affinity with books. I always believe that it is not just so much of a habit, but, my eldest daughter is just like you. I have tons and tons of books. And when she came back from overseas, I said, you got to take care of it. And I don't know how she did it, but she took care of it. And she has turned from a creative director to now become a full-time writer. Fiction.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is how I think, affinity with books got to be developed from your past life. So it's a great project that you are doing. And I know how, people, including myself, can find joy in reading, and that is really, really great. So thank you again so much. And we love to hear your poetic summary every week of our brothers and sisters sharing. So continue up with the good work, and thank you, those days when we worked together on the publications for our TCIS. Yeah.
Those are the days, my friend.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. And Brother David, you're on. So let me share the questions for this week. So you have not shared for many months already, Brother David. So welcome back. And we all, always look forward to your great sharing.
Yes. Quite a long time already.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, Sister Jabin and all brothers and sisters. A very good morning to you.
Good morning. So we can start with the first question.
Okay. So you can hear me clearly, right?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. So first question.
Yes, in the past, we have heard from Abbot Sifu, as first generation disciple of Master, we must sacrifice thoroughly, 彻底牺牲. As a lay practitioner, and we are all not monastic, and this person is asking, I'm not sure what this really means, what it means by 彻底牺牲. So, because all of us have family, career, and many dependents. So hope that you can share your experience here, brother.
You say lay practitioner means 外行的修行者，是 means 是在家居士吗？
对，就是好像我们这样是吗？我们是
在家居士啊。
对。
那个 monastic 是出家人啊。
出家人，对。
出家人啊，对。
所以我们都不是出家人，我们是好像我们讲 commissioner， 我们有自己的家庭，有很多需要我们的人。
We practice at home 啦。
Home practitioner。Home
practitioner， 对。好，这个是这样子哈 ，because different state, different background, and different mission. Okay, for the master to say, it's something very different from our home practitioner, because we have our business. Normally, if you don't have business, you also have the family affair to do, right? You have husband, you have wife, you have children. This is very something different from the monastic, from the master. So the way for their cultivation should be also different, because different condition. For home practitioner, we want to participate the Tzu Chi activities, of course, you have to arrange your time, right? Besides your business, besides your home affairs, then you choose some time you are available to involve in Tzu Chi activities. This is something different from the monastic. Monastic, because they are cultivate at the abode, at the temple. So they are full-time practitioner. We are part-time Buddha. They are full-time Buddha. So the way for their cultivation is different. For monastic to say, because they are fully, they want to 走修行这条路了 they want to get involved in this cultivation in their whole life. So that means they donate the whole body, whole heart to Buddhism. So the mission, their mission also different from the home practitioner. For the Jinse master to say, Master Ching Yen give them a very high commission, 叫做 sacrifice salary, 彻底牺牲的. That means you have to sacrifice all your time, all your body, everything. No. But this only for the master. But for home practitioner, we have to take care of other things like our business, our home, everything. So if you want to participate, you want to join Tzu Chi, Master Ching Yen always very appreciate, very, very grateful. So she doesn't want to give pressure to those home practitioners. That's why he say, okay, you don't give pressure, don't give yourself pressure. You just do your best. 叫做怎么样？尽心尽力嘛。Just do your best, try your best. Don't get the pressure. Give you some room, no pressure. And the most, okay, this only the master give the disciples, the home practitioner, right? But some home practitioners, they are so energetic. Some of our senior volunteer. No, I do for Tzu Chi, not only do my best. 不是只有尽心尽力啊，使命必达 right? I must fulfill my commission. Once the master give me the mission, I want to not only do my best, 100%. 叫做什么？叫做使命必达 ，must fulfill this commission. No fulfillment, no stop. This another stage than just now I say, 尽心尽力, try your best. Something different. This one a little bit higher, right? Not only I do my best. If you give the mission, of course I want to not only try my best. Definitely I want to fulfill. I want to finish, complete this mission. So this is the most only. Even try your best, or you want to give fully commission. Okay, this for home practitioner. But still something different from the monastic, different from the Jinse master. They don't say try my best. No, you cannot try your best. I want to fulfill the mission. No, you have to thoroughly sacrifice yourself. 死而后已啊. In Chinese we say until you die. That means you sacrifice your whole thing, your whole body. So this is a different 境界, different state already. Okay. So I'm unsure what this really means. I'm a commissioner with a family, career, and many dependents, of course. So you only can say do your best. Even I am full-time in Jinse, I dare not to say I sacrifice salary. No, because I'm not the monastic. I'm still the home practitioner. I still have wife. I still have daughters, right? This background is very different from the monastic. Monastic, they cannot marry. They don't, even they have family, their father, mother, grandmother, they have relatives, but you have to see all the human beings equal. You cannot have the 分别心 sense distinction 是不是 You don't have any
differentiation.
怎么歧视怎么讲啊？歧视
什么歧视？
discrimination 是吧
Yeah, no differentiation, no
No
discrimination.
discrimination. Even I'm the monastic. Even they are the monastic. They are the 金色师傅. They still have their family, right? 在家他的 father, mother, everything. But now since you are the monastic already, so your vision is different. You have to treat all people, including your friends, your and other master or your relatives, everybody, all human beings equal. So this is different state already. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are the home practitioner. We only can do this only. The most we can do only this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but brother, I just like to extend this a bit, right? I mean, as lay practitioners, home practitioners, it's also important for us to have a goal, but like you said, a goal where it is achievable so that we don't get frustrated on the way, right? We know that we are walking the right path.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
think this is very important, 是吧？要不然我们很快就说，我不要了，我不做了，因为很难嘛。
Yeah. But you have to know this is only one way for our cultivation, because this the Tzu Chi school of Buddhism, 慈济宗门呐、慈济的法门呐、Okay, the way we are cultivation now in Tzu Chi is the 怎么讲 is the wish of Buddha 2,500 years ago. The Buddha want to teach all his disciples to follow, to do in the same way now. The Master Ching is undergoing this wish for the Buddha. That's why we follow Master Ching. Okay, you must have this acknowledgement. Then you know, okay, you want to stop, you want to leave, nobody. Of course we have to come for you, right? Try to persuade you, right? But if you really want to go, you want to take leave, you want to leave, nobody can stop you. This is your wisdom life. How to take care, you have to practice. You have to understand very well. Otherwise, you encounter any small problem, any difficulties, then you want to stop. Tzu Chi, if you don't involve in Tzu Chi, you leave, Tzu Chi still undergoing. Now we need Tzu Chi more than Tzu Chi need us. True or not? You have this acknowledgement, then you know I want to do Tzu Chi. Although I'm the home practitioner, sometimes I'm busy at home, busy at business, but I still want to choose my time to join Tzu Chi, to do Tzu Chi activities. You must have this vow. You must have this anticipation, 是不是？愿望啊 your expectation.
Aspiration.
Yeah, you must have the expectation. Yeah, focus on the Tzu Chi. Besides home and business, focus on Tzu Chi. You have to arrange your time, right? Other things, not important things. Okay, don't do it. I want to cherish my time to join Tzu Chi. Even this is small activities, but I keep long term. This also is the state of still 定的境界啦，定安定 stay still this 功夫 okay
Okay, thank you. We go to question 2.
Okay.
Uh,
And two.
we have volunteers with mental health issues and we want to take responsibility. They want to take responsibility, but yet in the process, they create a lot of frictions and misunderstanding with the public members due to their mental state. So when they are with us internally, we can accommodate them, right? And be understanding, but yet externally when they go out it causes afflictions in public members. So how shall we deal or respond to such a situation?
Okay, this is very good question. Okay, this kind of volunteer internally, we are all same, we are all brothers, sisters, we are all Dharma relatives. We can understand, we can forgive, but the problem, because we know this volunteer, right? We know his problem, so we can forgive. We can borrow. But the public members, they don't know this guy, right? When they meet this volunteer, they feel something wrong. Okay, for the public member misguided by him or by her, maybe, right? Anyway, the public members meet this kind of volunteer who has the health issue, the mental challenges, then the problem. Of course, something will happen, something weird, right? Because he is not the normal. Okay, but we cannot deny him, because although he has the mental health issue, but he still has the good root. He want to join Su Ching. He want to improve himself. This we have to recognize him, right? Start 很有善根呐，很有缘呐，对，很发心嘛 ，very energetic, right? Normally, this kind of people, something wrong, maybe they don't interest join Tzu Chi, but he still want to join Tzu Chi. So this is a person with the good affinity with Tzu Chi, with us as well. So we want to help him also. So when he is facing to the public members, we have to accompany him, not only protect him, help him, but also protect the public members. We are afraid of they are misguided or they feel something bad for these volunteer with the mental problems, right? We want to how to say, make the things are smooth. So don't let her alone to deal with the public members. Because she is unable to express correctly. Mental has the problem, of course, cannot express the Tzu Chi or introduce Tzu Chi correctly. We want to help him. Don't let him alone. So if somebody can accompany her or him, then for him is an opportunity to learn also, right? You accompany him and we speak smoothly, we can rectify it. Sometimes he said not so correct, right? But he feel good because you accompany with me. Then I know, okay, I have to improve. How to say will be much better. Like he can learn, right? But also the public members will know what he wants to know, right? Because he has the mental problem. Sometimes he introduced Su Ching not so well. So we accompany him, we help him, right? Maybe the public members will know what he wants to know. For public members also good. Otherwise, the member will be misguided and get afflictions. Especially the public member. He is also the Buddhist. And he learned Buddhism maybe long time than us. So when sometimes he get this volunteer who has the mental problem, introduce Tzu Chi, introduce the Buddhism, not so correct. He will feel something wrong, right? Then he will get a vision. Why he pressed like this way? It's not so correct. Then if we are accompanying this guy, then we can immediately to rectify. Okay, the public members, yeah, 你补充的 What you said, I agreed. So nothing happened. But the mentor, when we want to accompany this volunteer, this kind of volunteer, the method we use must be very smoothly and harmoniously, because this kind of people are so sensitive. Only one word, one sentence, you speak not so smoothly, or so not respectful, he will get hurt. He will getting hurt, right? Why you say so? Why you come here? Right? Must be this is something like we deal with the people with the depression, something so sensitive. So what we say must be very, very careful. Otherwise, we are hurt him or her. Especially she has a mental problem and must be very sensitive. So we have to be very careful. Yeah. But don't say, okay, I don't want to touch. Just let him do by himself, alone to deal with the public member. Don't do this. On behalf of Su Ching, we at this critical moment we have to get involved, accompany him, deal with the public member together. And this is the smooth way. For us also learn. For outlook, okay, I come to accompany him, accompany you, I help you. But also you are learning. We are also learning, right? It's a kind of learning opportunity. In Su Ching, as long as you get involved in any things, that is the opportunity for our learning. If you have this kind of mindset, you will be feel happy every day if you join any Su Ching activities. Okay.
Yeah, I think that is very true. In fact, in our SOP, volunteering SOP, there is a very, very clear segment on how, we as a commissioner, if we want to take people with some mental health issues and give them duties, we have to accompany them all the time. Because of their conditions, and to guide them, and also to make sure that there's no misunderstanding with the public, so that we have got to be at hand to constantly explain to the public if there's any misstatement from this particular volunteer. So that is actually a SOP in the volunteer guidebook.
Yeah, but one point very important. This is also the responsibility of senior volunteers.
Correct.
When he meet this kind of volunteer, maybe newcomer, right? And he has opportunity to encounter the public members, but he has the mental problem, cannot express correctly or introduce Su Ching correctly. Then now you are the senior volunteer. You know Su Ching much better than him. At this moment, you have to go close to him, to help him, to comfort him. Okay, I come to help you. Sometimes you cannot express very well. But I can, okay, I can help you. Then he will feel grateful, right? I'm alone to face the public member. I feel pressure. But you come to me, you help me, right? It's all the good thing, right?
Okay, next question, yeah. The problem moving. Okay, this one, in an episode of Wisdom at Dawn 熏法相的时候, Master mentioned about seeking to end the causes of our returning to this world, 就是 end 这个 cyclic existence. Yet Master speaks about returning by vows to save suffering sentient beings in Saha world. So the question is this contradicting? On the one hand, Master talked about ending causes of returning. But on the other hand, Master said, we return by vows to save suffering sentient beings. And then the second part of the question is, is it true that in her initial years, Master never mentioned about returning to Saha, and Buddha never spoke about returning to Saha world until later part in his teachings? If so, what is the reason?
Okay, also good question. Normally we say life is too much suffering and torturing, right? The life is very torturing and impermanence, full of sufferings, right? Because the essence of our life is just like the essence of the 苦瓜 bitter
Bitter
juice
gourd.
is
Bitter gourd.
bitter gourd
苦瓜。
我们吃饭那个炒的苦瓜
Fried bitter gourd, is that?
we have honeydew, right? Then we have bitter dew. 我不晓得是不是
Bitter gourd, yeah. Honeydew and bitter gourd, yeah.
yeah. Okay. The essence of this the bitter 什么？跟这个苦瓜的本质啦。
The
The
essence,
essence of the
bitter
life.
gourd.
The essence of life. Just like the essence of the bitter dew. 我不晓得的。
Bitter gourd, yeah, gourd.
bitter
瓜。
gourd.
Mm.
Same thing. Never change. In our life, eventually you will discover the life is torturing and suffering. 它的本质 this is his essence. Because you know why? Why we reincarnate to this 娑婆世界 Sattva world. This is 六道轮回嘛 six rings 是不是？他回到这个六道轮回嘛。
The six
This
realm.
even any ring of these six rings, 它都是苦的啦。It's the suffering and torturing because our body come to this world is get the suffering and 受报啦 get the karma.
Yeah.
That's why we
Our karma, yeah.
that's why we learn Buddhism. We want to 超越怎么讲超越啊？
Elevate ourselves to get
超
out
越
this, to get out.
我们讲超越嘛，对 ？Never reincarnate to these six rings. That means you already attained Buddhahood. So at this state, even you come back to this 什么娑婆世界 Sattva world,
Sahawa.
Sattva world, it's different. For example, you know 舍利佛 Do you know 舍利佛？舍利佛啊，跟文殊师利菩萨 ，right？
Manjushri.
Yeah， 我舍利佛，
Manjushri Bodhisattva.
舍利佛
Sariputra.
Oh, Sariputra.
and 文殊师利菩萨
And
both of
Manjushri.
them are 智慧第一啊。
Foremost in wisdom.
Yeah. All the number one wisdom. 智慧第一啊。
Foremost.
But 文殊师利菩萨 he is reincarnating to this Sattva world to transform the sentient beings. But he is the essence. He is attained Buddhahood already. But his vow is come back to Sattva world to transform the people. This is like our Buddha. He come back to this Sattva world not to get the suffering and torturing. No. His vow is after attain Buddhahood, come back to this Sattva world to transform, to educate the people, to purify people's mind. This is his vow. But he is already attained Buddhahood. This is Buddha and 文殊师利菩萨。舍利佛 also number one wisdom, right? But 舍利佛 not yet attained Buddhahood. So 舍利佛 is still the number one wisdom of skillful means. 是小圣 small vehicle. The number one wisdom in small vehicle. But 文殊师利菩萨 is number one wisdom in true Dharma. So both 舍利佛 and 文殊师利菩萨 境界不一样啊 ，the state different state. So no contradiction. Returning by vows is different from reincarnation by karma. Understand? I repeat again. No, these two, no contradiction. Returning by vows is different from reincarnation by karma. Different state. Okay, it's different in between. This just like we make vow to donate our body when we are alive, right? When we are alive, right? We sign the agreement. After we pass away, we want to donate our body, right? Become a salamander, right? So then when we are going to pass away, we already signed the body donation agreement, right? But when we are alive, right? But when we are going to pass away, you feel happy or torturing? Of course, feel happy. Because we are about to fulfill our wish. All right. Everybody feel happy when he is about to fulfill his wish, right? Because this is your vow, your wish. So in this condition, we don't care the normal Buddhist say, once we die, we have to keep the body, don't touch the body within 8 hours. This is the concept of the 净土宗了，净土宗了。净土宗 the normal Buddhists like this mindset. After I pass away, don't touch me. Within these 8 hours, I'm just like the turtle, right? Take off my 壳啊，对不对？乌龟脱壳啊。So it must be very torturing. No, this for the normal Buddhists. They don't have the big wish to donate their body. So when they pass away, they use a normal way. Okay, don't touch my body until 8 hours. Then you can do as you like. No, for our Su Ching Buddha path, our mindset is different. My wish is after I pass away, I want to donate my body. So when I'm going to pass away, I feel happy because my wish will be, my vow and wish will be fulfilled, right? If you want to donate your body, then once pass away, immediately you have to send the body to storage room of Su Ching Medical School. You know, because my father and mother, they are the salamander. They all donate their body. I suggest them when they are alive. I say, I will handle for you. Okay, after you pass away, I will send you to Su Ching University, the medical, the medical school. Okay, to do the salamander. They agree. So they feel happy also. Okay, even they don't allow. When if we have the wish to donate our body, when we pass away, right? We don't care how they handle our body. Just send to the Su Ching Medical School. Even you don't have time. If you have this wish, you want to donate your body. When you pass away, even you don't have time to have chanting. You know, you have no time to invite all the brother, sister, come to our house or go to the hospital to have chanting for these people. No time. Once you pass away, immediately change the clothes, sent to Su Ching Medical School. No chanting. Hey, for Buddhists to say this is very serious problem, you know. Of course, everybody pass away. We want somebody to do the chanting for us. For me to say, I don't need. If available, if okay, okay, I don't. 我不能说 on purpose say you don't chant for me. No, but if really I pass away in Taiwan, I have to send my body to medical school immediately. No time to invite you to come to have chanting for me. No time. Because in true Dharma, they say, you want other people chanting for you. better your family chanting for you. You want your family member chanting for you, better you chant by yourself. The last sentence is very important. You want to chant by yourself, better you do by yourself. This is the education from Master Ching. You must do it, not chanting. Do it. If you don't do, you don't take action, even somebody, even master give you so much blessings from her mouth, even you cannot get any 1% of the blessings from master. No, because you didn't do it. If you do it, then no master bless for you. You still get it because you get what you do. That this is true Dharma. So after you pass away, whether the volunteer chanting for you, this is not important already. This only last moment, not very important already. Because in my life, I already done a lot of Su Ching. This is the best chanting, best blessings for me already. But if, okay, right, why not? Okay, since we already do a lot of Su Ching. But when we pass away, if okay, everybody chant to everybody part to 助念 for us. We also accept, happily accept, no problem. But if not available, don't care. No need to chant. Right? So when you are alive, you make vow to come back to Saha world. This is because Master Ching educate us. In Saha world is the best place to cultivate. If you reincarnate to the heaven, still in secrets, especially in Buddhism, it said, in heaven, no way to learn Buddhism because too enjoy, too happy. Just like now, so many rich people, right? They enjoy material life very much. So it's very hard for them to cultivate. True or not? This is go to the heaven. No chance to learn Buddhism. But if you reincarnate to the San Dao, to the hell, 畜生道, to the ghost, that means no opportunity to attain Buddhahood because every day in bad mood, every day in suffering and torturing. No, you don't have any mood to learn Buddhism. Just like now, so many poor people, they are struggling for the 3 meals every day. It's so busy struggling for 3 meals already. How come they have time to learn Buddhism? Right? You want me to learn Buddhism? Better you give me food because I need food. So this is very poor guy. No opportunity to learn Buddhism. So the best way is we make a wish after we pass away, reincarnate to this sick ruin, to Saha world. This is the best place and good opportunity to learn Buddhism. But if you come back to Saha world by your vows, you reincarnate by your vows, you feel happy. This is your goal, your wish. You feel happy. So in Saha world, all of us same. Somebody reincarnate to this world because in his previous life already made vow. So in this life, he is very wise. Even he encountered so many difficulty and afflictions, he feel very easy. No, not too much headache. Not like us. So this guy, we can say, in his previous life, in his past life, he made good vow to come back to this Saha world. But we also met some people, even our volunteers, same thing, right? Some people just like to say they They encounter the frustration, the personnel issue, they face the difficulties, right? They want to stop. They want to take leave, 1 month, 3 month leave. They want to slow down to join Su Ching. This is not she or he come back to this world, not by her vow. This is by her karma or by his karma. That's why he had this problem, afflictions, and very difficult to jump the hurdle. So you can see, right, in our group also same, right? Some people, even they face so many problems, but they still feel easy. Nothing happened. But some people, small problem, big afflictions. Right. So this according to his vow or karma, recurring to this how. From here we can see in his past life what vow, what karma he made. Very, very interesting, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So no contradiction.
Yeah.
different
So
different
on
background.
on the second part of the question, this is really because, while Buddha has always wanted, his original intent is to teach the Lotus Sutra, which
It is that in her initial years, means in this life.
yeah,
Master
Master
never mentioned about returning to Saha world, and Buddha never spoke about turning to Saha world until later part in his teaching. No. Master speak a lot. Always say you have to come back to, because 成佛在人间呐。This is a very important sentence in Buddhism. Attain Buddhahood in Saha world. Why Buddha attain Buddhahood earlier than 那个什么那个 than other Buddha? Why? Even earlier than
Maitreya.
阿弥陀佛。
Maitreya Buddha. Before
还有什么？
Maitreya Buddha, yeah.
那叫什么佛？那个 the Buddha attained Buddhahood earlier than other Buddha, because our Buddha 释迦牟尼佛释迦牟尼佛 yeah, his vow is come back to Saha world to transform people. So he always together with the people. This is the condition of attain Buddhahood. Master Ching also speak a lot already. That's why in our Su Ching volunteer we always say, 快去快回, right? 成愿再来, right? When somebody pass away, our brother sister pass away, we already bless him, right? Quickly go, quickly back, right? 成愿再来啊，对。
Come back by your vow, yeah.
Returning by your vow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why we say, okay, for Su Ching Buddha path, we never say 往生西方净土. No, this is not our vow. Sorry, right? No need for me to say, you don't need, if you want to go to the purified land, pure land, you want to go to pure land, no need to wait until you die. Every day now, when you are alive, you can go to the pure land. Why? 因为唯心净土. Only the heart is pure land. In Chinese, we say 唯心净土. Only the heart is pure land. That's why we say 万法唯心造, right? All the state created by our mind. Okay, your vow is go to the pure land after pass away. No need to wait so long. If you are long life, you have to wait so long, right, to go to the pure land, right? If your life 100 years, why you have to wait so long? This not right. If we clear our mind, purified, now, today is my pure land. Immediately pure land. Don't need to wait until we die, right? This is more meaningful, right? So now it's my pure land, right? I feel very comfortable. I feel very easy today. It's Saturday, right? Today I don't have to go to above. I have to go to Taipei, right? Okay, like traveling. Although I have my things to do, I have my task. I feel happy, no burden. This is my pure land. Immediately the pure land. That's why we say 唯心净土, right? That's why in our Tzu Buddha Path volunteer, we all say 快去快回，尘愿再来. Returning back by your vow. Not, we don't say, just go to pure land. That land is very pure, very happy, very comfortable. No opportunity to learn Buddhism. And still in 6 rains. Not thoroughly, 不彻底的, right? The final way, the 彻底的就近呐. In Chinese we say 就近, the how to say, exclusive way. The exclusive way is eventually, after you pass away, still come back to Saha world. But at that time, your state different from you now, different, because now we are learning Buddhism. After we pass away, our vow, we returning by our vow to Saha world again. At that time, our jinjie, our power is different. Like now, just now I say so many people, right? Very different. Although he encountered so many problems, so many insults by the people, so many obstacles, but he's okay, so easy. This guy, we have to learn from him. Like his previous life is already made the vow to come back to Saha world, right? To show his body and education to us. So many people easy to be hurt, but somebody never get hurt. Although we feel he's getting hurt, but he feel nothing, right? It's something to do with his vow in previous life, in his past life. But now, in this for us today, now we are in this life. This life is the past life of our next life. True or not? Right?
Right.
这一世, this life is the past life of next life. True or not? Today is tomorrow's yesterday. Right? Okay. 8:30, I have to leave.
Okay, cảm ơn.
Okay, thank you everybody.
Cảm ơn.
See you next time.
See you
Okay.
next time.
Okay. Hey, August 21st, I'm going to KL.
Very good.
A few days only. This time, few days only. Short time. Okay.
Okay, cảm ơn so much.
See you then. See you. Bye bye.
Cảm ơn.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Sorry, I have problem. Okay, thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for listening in this morning. I hope everyone has got, some good teachings to bring back with you, and be joyful for the week. So see you again next week. And then before we end, let us pay homage to Buddha and Master Chen Yan and our Abbot Sifu. May we stand? First bow, second bow, third bow, and a bow to our Abbot Master. Cảm ơn. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.